Hello, everyone. So this is the one of the questions in the assignments in Alex. So this was a bit challenging, so which is why I like to make this video for that. So we are given the triangle x and xy is the side length for each side, and the angle x is not equal to angle y. So which is basically telling us the angle measure right here is not the same as this one. Okay, based on this, finish the question. Okay, so if you like do this problem, but before we do this problem, let me just remind the some ratios that we have to remember. That we have like a sine of a angle is equal to opposite side. All right, I'm gonna just use the opposite side over hypotenuse, and then the cosine is cosine of any angle is just the adjacent side over hypotenuse, and then tangent is just the opposite side over adjacent side. So we have to remember these three ratios, for us to deal with the problems. Okay. So the first things was asked in the problem is just the sine x. So if you look at the angle right here, x, so you have to look at the the sine ratio, which is opposite divided by hypotenuse. So when you consider this angle, opposite is gonna be the side x. So this is the side that is opposite to this angle, which has to be x. So that's my numerator basically. And the hypotenuse is the side that is opposite to the 90 degrees, which is that's z. So I will go with z for this. Okay, so for this sine y, so now we are gonna refer this angle. So the angle y is opposite to the y because we are looking for sine of the y now, opposite the y of hypotenuse. Opposite side for this angle is the side y, so which is why we are gonna write y and divide by the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is still z, okay? So that is the sine x and that is the sine y. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. So the cosine x, like cosine of any angle, is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So if you consider this angle, and adjacent would be the side that is next to, which is this side, not the one hypotenuse, because hypotenuse is always the one that is opposite to 90, which doesn't change. So, but adjacent and opposite can swap, okay, based on the angle you are referring. So as for this angle x, this y is the adjacent, so I should go with y, and the hypotenuse is the still z, so that is y over z. And the cosine y is just the cosine is like y degrees right here, so the cosine is just adjacent, which is gonna be the x as my adjacent side for the angle, and the hypotenuse is still z, and that is my part A. So let's see what we have next. So the triangle XYZ and the angle X and Y are something. So like before I look at the choices, the X is right here, the angle measure X, and then this is Y. And if you remember, the angle sum in a triangle is always 180. This is 90. It means angle Y plus angle X should be 90 as well. So when you have two angles add up to 90, we call them complementary angles. So we do have angle X and angle Y are complementary. So, okay. And for the last one, R3, so the sine X, if you look at this one, sine X was X over Z. From the choices, X over Z is actually cosine Y as well. Sine X is equal to cosine Y, so this is correct. And then the cosine X is equal to sine Y, so cosine X is equal to sine Y. So we do have these two. But look at the process that we are trying to do now. Like we do say angle X and Y are complementary, which is they are add up to 90 degrees because in the triangle X and Y is add up to 90. When you add this 90 to those two, you get 180. Okay, and then when you write the ratios in the first place, we got these four ratios, and then you see that the sine of the x degree is equal to cosine of the y degree when x and y actually complementary, which is not the case for only these two angles. It is actually general, meaning that if you have the two angles that is add up to 90 degrees, then cosine of one angle is the sine of the other angle. So if this is sine 44 is equal to something in cosine, that means the angle 44 and the angle right here should be complementary, which is add up to 90 degrees. If you subtract 44 from 90 degrees, so you do get 46 degrees. Okay, so that should be our final answer. So I hope that makes sense. So this is the answer for this question. And I'll see you in the next video.